Hello and welcome to MTB Cooking. Today we share with you how to cook the French Croziflette, which is a casserole dish made with pasta, with bacon, and with the lovely Reblochon cheese that is so famous from the region of Savoie in France, where this dish is from. We have also shared with you the recipe for a tartiflette, which is similar to the Croziflette. You can watch it by clicking the link above. First of all, what we're going to do is to cook some pasta in a pan of boiling water, and we've salted the water very well. We use these macaroni-like pasta because we don't find the crozet, which is the pasta normally used for a croziflette in France. If you do find the crozet pasta, please do use them. The important thing is just to cook them al dente. We have taken some bacon that is salted and smoked, and we're going to cut it into dice ourselves. As you can see, we can choose the thickness of the bacon ourselves when we cut it, so we prefer to do that instead of buying it pre-cut. We won't cut the bacon into too small dice, and that's because we do want a bit of texture in the dish, as the bacon will be the only meat element in this dish. In a pan, in some neutral tasting canola oil, we will cook the bacon at medium heat until it's like semi crispy. We don't want it too crispy, like breaky crispy, because it is going to be a chewy, meaty element in this dish. We will use the bacon fat because there is plenty of good taste in that to cook off some onions and leeks that we've just chopped finely, and they are really going to absorb a lot of the great taste of bacon, so there's no need to get rid of the bacon fat. We also added in some mushrooms that we've cut, and as you can see, they really give off a lot of water, so we'll let this whole mixture cook until the water has evaporated. We will salt and we will pepper the mixture to give it a lot of flavor, but it will take some minutes until you are at this stage where you see that the vegetables are cooking or frying more than boiling, and that's what we're looking for. We will also add garlic that has been minced, and just roll that around in the pan together with the other ingredients before adding some white wine. And we're using a good dry white wine, again a French one here. It fits very well with the dish being a French one. And we will let this cook for some minutes so that the alcohol can evaporate, and we're left with only the good taste of white wine. We do not necessarily want to get drunk of this dish. And then we added in a splash of lemon juice before just putting the crispy bacon dice back into the pan, and then we actually turned off the heat, put it aside, and we dealt with the cheese. We have this Reblochon cheese. It's a French cheese from Savoie in France, and what we first will do is to remove the outer white layer which is on the cheese. It's not something we want to eat, so with a sharp knife we can just slightly scrape it off using not much force. And it's important to also remember the edges around the cheese. There is this little red label on the Reblochon cheese. It's probably a sign of authentication, and that's very nice, but that's not really what we're looking for eating. We have first cut the cheese into two, and then after that we'll cut it into quarters. In that way we're left with 4 nice pieces of cheese that we can use as a garniture or garnish on top of our dish before cooking it in the oven a little later. But what we can do now is we can start to assemble the dish, and we are first taking some delicious Danish butter in this case, because that's what we have. We live in Denmark, but that is a French ingredient, as you know. So we butter up a pan that you'd normally use for lasagna or other things. Then you add in the pasta, half of it, and then half of the vegetable mixture on top. Then you're going to salt just a little bit in between these layers, because it's going to give way more flavor as well to the whole dish. And then add the rest of the pasta as well as the rest of the vegetables. You can slightly salt after having laid out the vegetables, and then you'll add 6 nice and big tablespoonfuls of crème fraîche. This will add a nice and creamy layer, so if you spread it on nicely on top, it is going to melt all over the dish and add this creamy touch. Then you can place the Reblochon cheese on top, And as you can imagine, this is going to melt beautifully in the oven after 40 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius, that's 390 degrees Fahrenheit. And after that, you pull out this delicious golden and piping hot dish. We recommend you to leave it for around 10 minutes just to let it rest before cutting it. It is very, very hot just after cooking, and you would want it to just cool down slightly so that you can actually taste the ingredients once you dig into it. We always just cut up like almost like a fourth of this Croziflette per person, because I mean, how can you resist? And as you can see, we have the beautiful layers of the al dente pasta, the beautiful chewy bacon that's still a little crunchy on the outside. You have the creaminess from the crème fraîche, and then the cheese on top that has melted beautifully and that tastes so amazing. Here's a bite from heaven. You also see the small champignon or the mushroom pieces in the dish, which are just amazing. We can really recommend you to go try this comfort food dish. It's so easy to make. It actually doesn't require that many ingredients. The Reblochon cheese will probably be the most difficult to find, but I'm sure you can manage. Thank you for having watched this video with MTB Cooking. Please subscribe to our channel if you don't do already, and then you can like the video. We'll see you in our next one. Bye.